Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome back to my channel, Tech with Benham, where we look at solving problems in technology or looking how technology is trending. If my videos have been of help, like, subscribe, and comment, or let me know what you want us to look at. Alright, let's get going. Today in this video I'm going to look at how can you tell that your computer, it could be a desktop or laptop, has an SSD or HDD. Well, what is that? Those are types of hard drives where you store your information. There are types of hard drives. We have the SSD, which stands for solid state drive, and the HDD stands for hard disk drive. So let us look at the difference. I have an image here that you can look at. Here is the HDD, and here is the SSD. This is the solid state drive, and this is the hard disk drive. Well, in the past, they used to use a lot of hard disk drives. It's more of mechanical, like you can see. It has some screws. It has even a disk. This is called a platter. This is a read-write head, and the SSD. This is current technology. It's more of a chip, just like RAM. It's a chip, just has chips on it. Currently, there are still computers that are using this, but most of the computers that are being produced right now, laptops, desktops, they're using the SSD drive. So, well, why do you want to check what your computer has? Well, that comes in the difference. What are the differences between these two hard drives? First of all, let us look at the hard disk drive. The hard disk drive is mechanical. It's more of parts, has different parts, disks, but the SSD is more of a chip. It's improved technology, so that technology really is different. And the HDD is slower than the SSD. Why? Because when you look at the SSD, it has this disk, and this is where your information is written or stored when you're doing your work, if your computer has an HDD. And the SSD is a chip. So if you're using the HDD and you need to access information on the HDD, this read-write head has to read the information on this disk. This disk has to rotate around until when this head gets to that information. And the time it takes, it may be longer depending on how long you've used the hard disk, but it takes some time to get to that data. But when your computer has an SSD and you want to access some information, it directly goes to that specific information. Nothing has to rotate over here to find that information. So the SSD is faster. And another difference is that the SSDs are smaller. You can look at the sizes. We unwrapped these disks, so these ones are really smaller than the HDD. Of course, technology improves and things get smaller. Nanotechnology. Then the HDD consumes more power than the SSD, since it has moving parts. It has to move around, rotate and get that information that you want. But this is just there, straight. Go pick the information, bring it on top, and that's it. About the speed, that's why you will find that a computer with the SSD disk is faster than the computer with the HDD. So you might find the computers with the same specs, but if one has HDD and another has SSD, all those terms. HDD and SSD, the one with SSD is faster than the one with HDD. So yeah, the speed, power consumption, the size, and I would say the disadvantage is that SSD is more expensive than HDD because this is new technology, and of course it provides more efficiency. And the HDD I said. So basically that is it. Those are some of the reasons why, but we appreciate technology. So let us go to the matter. How do you check if your computer has HDD or SSD? Alright, so first of all, you'll come to your Windows computer and search for the task manager. There are many ways, but this is one of them, and maybe the first one. Manager. My computer is slow. Apologies for that. Maybe we are going to find out if it has an HDD or SSD. So you're gonna click here. Ooh, this is too slow. It's gonna bring up something like this. It's taking a long to load, but yeah, it's gonna bring up something like this. Then you go to performance. H. So when you come to performance, there's some little information here, some information here and here. Well, we shall not go through all this because this is more technical but self-explanatory. So how do you check if your disk is SSD or HDD? So you come here under the disks. This is disk 0. Well, if you have more than one hard drive in your computer, it will show various disks here. I have one hard drive. Don't get confused with this. These are just partitions. That's why we have CI. CI is under the same disk. This is one drive. So under disk 0, there is the HDD. So my disk is HDD. That's why it is so slow. But of course there are other things that determine the speed of a computer. There is RAM, there is your video card, but the disk, if you have an SSD, it really makes a difference. And if we click on it, it will give you more information about it. Maybe, I don't know what this is, probably could be the manufacturer or something. You can let us know. You comment down and tell us what it is. Maybe you can teach me that as well. So basically that's how you check if your computer has an SSD or an HDD. And even when you're going to buy a computer, you can check that and find out the difference. But I think I should change mine to SSD because technology is good, right? Otherwise, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what next you want me to look at, and we'll look at it together. Thank you very much.